Hey guys, how you doing? Today is June 23 and now is in Friday afternoon, Hong Kong time, about 1 quarter to afternoon 2 o'clock, and it's quite shaking. Not only in Hong Kong's market, right? Not only in Hong Kong's market, also in Japan's stock market, and even in India's. Then it's dropped a little bit, 1%, right? Hong Kong dropped it 2%. Then China has no stock market today, and Taiwan has no market for 2 days, yesterday and today. Quite shocking, right? Quite shocking for Asian market, and a lot of things is because putting up the interest rate, right? We know that UK is putting up the interest rate, and then we'll show you that Italy is also going to put up the interest rate for 15%, right? So a lot of market is shaking. Then this time may not be. We know that the offshore RMB now is more than 7.22, right? But may not be due to that today, because inshore is still 7.18. So the shaking most probably is because of the right, UK putting up the interest rate, and then US is going to put up the interest rate in July, and then something like that, right? And today we will pay attention to PayPal, one stock that we sold more than 1 year before, and then now I think PayPal already hit the bottom, but we should pay attention to PayPal, but don't buy it too soon. If you buy now, I'm not guaranteed that it will rise up very quickly, but it recovers quite a lot. Then we will take a look on the balance sheet, just announced it May the 8th, right? About 1 month before, right? It recovers a lot, right? PayPal is a very good stock, but now it rise up is because of the crypto, right? It dropped is because of the crypto, right? And also US put up the interest rate. But now I think that we should forget the past, because what the stock price of PayPal crashed is already past, right? Then we have a little bit loss, but not much, right? So if PayPal is a good company, then we should refocus on her, right? But I say it again, don't buy it too soon, right? Now maybe a little bit too soon, right? So our Falcon portfolio been dropped a little bit, then now is dropped from 78% to today is 78%. So if any of you want me to analyze on any stock, then you can leave your message under the YouTube, or you can directly email to me by usstockmarketweekly@gmail.com. And then this is our this is the screenshot that we used a lot before for PayPal, right? Pay attention to PayPal, this stock, but do not buy it too soon. And actually, 1 day before, Dow Jones and Nasdaq been dropped it. And yesterday closing, not much, right? Only dropped it 4.8 points, right? And then for Nasdaq, still rising up, right? Still rising up, but not for Nvidia or AMD or TSM. I think they rise it enough in the short term already, right? So this is our Falcon 350,000 portfolio. Then this year we rise at 31%, enough for us already, right? For 2023, 41% increment is enough for us already, and the portfolio total performance is 75%. So we take a look on some headlines, and we know that Biden just after Anthony visit China, and then he said that presidency is dictator, right? And then Beijing yesterday at night is asking Biden to apologize, otherwise there will be consequence. And then Biden said there will have no real consequence on China tires, right? So he has guts, right? And then for our China's premier Li Kang, right? And then he finished visiting Germany already. Now is in France, right? And then people are still talking about retaliation, right? But there is a worry. Honest, I can tell that there will not be any retaliation. No, no. The only consequence is decoupling to a great extent. That means it's not possible for China and Europe not doing any business. We know that even for Russia doing business with Europe or a little bit with US, like McDonald's, like Adobe, for the natural gases, right? So that's not possible for China not doing any business with Europe, but the percentage and the amount will be much, much, much smaller than before the pandemic, right? And then we already called it decoupling already, right? Decoupling doesn't mean 100% zero, no, right? Just the percentage decreased to very, very, very low, right? And then, sorry, that's Turkey, not Italy, sorry. Then I say wrong, Turkey. You can see that the central bank hikes interest rate to 15%, right? 15%, right? Because to prevent the money, the foreign exchange money to folding back to US. You know that UK is putting up the interest rate, Australia putting up the interest rate, Europe is putting up the interest rate. So all the money fall back to where? US, Europe, UK, Australia. So if you do not increase the interest rate, then your foreign exchange money will fall out. But the point is, if you increase the interest rate and then you have to pay the interest, then there will be no economic growth or even economic recession, right? So you can see that Turkey's economy is really not in a good shape, right? Okay, we talk about PayPal. Guys, look at the stock price chart of PayPal. So PayPal stock price already dropped to the lowest already, right? I think it is. So she dropped it to the lowest already, from more than 300 and then down to, doesn't matter, 60, 59, 68, no matter, right? And then we know that the co-founder of PayPal is Elon Musk, right? One of them is Elon Musk. And this company is a great company. You use PayPal is not for inside your country, right? Inside the country, there's a lot of e-payment tools, right? Even in Hong Kong, even in Japan, even in Korea, there is a lot of inside the country's e-tools for you to transfer the money, but not for you to transfer the money outside the boundary. And then PayPal is doing a very good job. We know that why PayPal during the pandemic rise up. Why? Because of crypto, right? And now because crypto is over, so it dropped back very quickly. And then another one that is a good example is for Square. And then now Square dropped even better, even more worse than PayPal. But it doesn't mean that PayPal has no value for this world. Actually, in reverse, I think PayPal has a very good value. If you need the payment across the boundary, right? And then now already added a lot of anti-crime, anti-financial requirement when you join PayPal. And PayPal is taking, if you have used PayPal, you will know that when you're taking the money out and then back to your country, back to your local bank account, she will eat up about 8 to 10% of the money. So it's a big percentage for transaction costs, right? And now is a very hot concept. Now PayPal is selling is BNPL. That means you buy now and then pay later. She promoted this kind of payment method is 2 years before already. That means that you join, the consumer join, then you can buy first, right? And you can pay later, maybe 1 month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, depends on the dividend, depends on the interest, right? So you can see that up from 2 years before, and then the people, the users, joining BNPL gradually rising up. That is the cumulative users, number of cumulative users. And then PayPal is the most aggressive e-tool for promoting buy now, pay later. PayPal for the market is 43%, Afterpay is 16%, Klarna is 13%, and then Affirm is just 12%. But Affirm is much smaller than PayPal. And then actually PayPal is proactively communicating to more than 110 million users in the whole world, ask them to join and approve it for buy now, pay later, according to the financial record that PayPal can access, right? So you can see that in April, May, June, and then the second half of 2022, you can see that the number of people have the interest and then pre-qualified it and then act to the upstream messaging is very quickly increased. US, all in US, right? April, 5 million only. But in May, 30 million. In June, 60 million, right? It gradually increased. And then we can see that what kind of people that is using buy now, pay later. Renters, and then US people with income from 20,000 US to 50,000 US, and then for the teenagers or young people aged below 35 years old, right? You can see that. And then we can also see that for the blue color is non-BNPL user, right? And then the green color is BNPL user. You can see that the number is quickly increased over past 5 or 4 years. So this is to remind you once again how PayPal is earning the money, right? PayPal actually she did a good job, right? Just you buy something, and then you use PayPal, right, to buy something. Of course, you have the money put into PayPal or linked to your bank account, right? And then PayPal will buy the money for you. Buy the money, or you receive the money, or you buy something, and then they will help to settle the money for you and then change to the corresponding currency. And then after that, they will, when you do the payment, like me, if you receive the money from the patron, and then she will change the money to say US dollar to Hong Kong dollar, right? And then when they transfer the money back to your local account, and then they will charge you for the transaction cost. And this transaction cost is huge, something like from 8% to 10%. So actually, if you earn a lot and then you do the transaction by PayPal, that means actually you work for PayPal, because the transaction cost is very high. Once I noticed the transaction percentage is close to 9 point something to the amount that I transfer back to Hong Kong. So she actually earned a lot of money in between, right? But she is not responsible for non-payment. If that's non-payment, not her problem, then you should directly contact with your merchant. She is just for providing a means for transfer the money across the border and then take the transaction cost. That's it. And then you can see that digital wallets, now only P2P, saving, giving, bill, credit and debit card, crypto, I think more or less disappear. So PayPal, Pay Now, and Pay Later, you can see that in the US, you can see that in those 2 years in between, all the matrix increasing. Transaction volume increased by 160%. And then transaction increased by 200%. Customer increased by double. Number of merchants increased by 60%. And the number of merchants with upstream presentment increased by 200%. Right? And just few days before, the news is said that PayPal, you know that PayPal will have bunch of customer that using BNPL. That means they have to ask the customer, okay, you should pay back, right? You should pay back, and then PayPal may earn more transaction costs in between. And then she packed it up about 40 billion. This kind of 44 billion. This kind of buy now pay later loan portfolio to KKR. KKR is one of the private provident fund company, right? Private. So we do not have a lot of detail. So some kind of company will buy this kind of portfolio from PayPal and then earn it in between, right? And then this kind of loan portfolio included the BNPL across France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and the UK, right? So we take a look on the first quarter financial result of PayPal, right? On May 8th this year. All is positive. You see that the net revenue, non-GAAP, compared with 1 year before, increased by 10%, operating income increased by 19%, and the earnings per share increased by 33%. Very good result. And then total payment value increased 12%. Net revenue, we just talked about, increased 10%. Earnings per share increased by 33%. And then the cash flow, a little bit not very satisfactory. Only increased by 3%. Still okay to me, right? And then we take a look on the balance sheet, right? On the current asset. Current asset add up the long-term investment is about 60 billion US dollar. Forget about the long-term asset, right? And we take a look on the current liability, add up with the long-term debt is only 57 billion US dollar. That means now PayPal is a net cash company, right? Total current asset plus the long-term investment, 60 billion, and then not counted for the long-term liability. And then current liability plus the long-term debt, total liability is only 57 billion US dollar. That means she is a net cash company. Very good. And then net revenue, we talk it over, then increased by 8%, something like that. 7 billion compared with 1 year before, 6.4 billion. I mean a quarter, first quarter, but not whole year. And then for the net income, 0.79 billion US dollar compared with 1 year before, 0.5 only. And then the net cash provided by the operating activity, a take plus spot, right? Why? Because it's a little bit less than 1 year before, right? 1.1 billion US dollar compared with 1.2 1 year before, but that's okay to me, right? That's okay to me, right? Not bad already. And then we take a look on by different country. US net revenue, you can see that one quarter by one quarter by one quarter from left side to right hand side. You can see that the US net revenue a little bit less than 1 quarter before, but is better than previous. International, the same case. So the total net revenue, 7 billion US dollar compared with one quarter before 7.3. But if 2 quarters before is 6.8, 6.8, 6.4. So still okay to me, right? And then active account, that means how many people actively using PayPal, right? we can see that still okay, right? That is million. 433 million active user with 17.5, and then payment transaction nearly the same, and then payment transaction per active account a little bit more, 53.1 US dollar compared with 51.4 one quarter before, and the total payment value nearly the same, right? So actually, I think PayPal is now in the way of recovering, because we know that actually the whole earth is recovering, right? US recovering after the Russian and Ukraine war is not over, but now is recovering from the China issue and also recovering from the interest rate issue, right? That is from US, and then UK, Europe, Japan is rising up, Taiwan is rising up, South Korea is waiting, right? So only China and Hong Kong is going down, right? So actually, I think now is okay for PayPal and is waiting for India, and I think a lot of merchants in Vietnam, right? Vietnam, in Cambodia, in India, in Indonesia, also start to use PayPal whenever you need to do something across the border. Visa, MasterCard, or PayPal, right? So actually, then focus on PayPal. Then I will follow our channel. Then I will tell you when we should go in and then buy PayPal again. Forget about the previous one, right? That's over already. Then we focus on good company, right? So here is non-GAAP net income, right? 1.4 billion US dollar for the first quarter of this year, compared with one year before, 1 billion US dollar, increased by 32%. Very good result. So thanks for watching, and then please give me some like and then share to your friends, and if you like this video, then press the subscribe and then press the bell icon next to it, right? So today is Friday, and then there is weekend in Saturday and Sunday, so I hope everyone have a very peaceful weekend. See you all guys on next Friday. Bye bye.